Hello, YouTube! My name is Scott, and I just got around to watching Cobra Kai. We're up to Season 5, Episode 4, Downward Spiral. And unfortunately, that's a really good way to describe the episode as a whole, because there are fights all over the place, physical and psychological, because of course, Terry Silver's involved. But what is the best way to get to it? Most of it, I would say, happens at the water park. And everybody's there. Cobra Kai, Eagle Fang, Miyagi-Do. It's almost difficult to remember who's on whose side. Because Robbie's kind of drifting through the whole thing as a free agent of sorts, because he's not going back to Cobra Kai. He actually breaks up with Tori over it because she's not leaving Cobra Kai. And his friendship with Kenny, same thing, because he's not leaving Cobra Kai. He's not a quitter. But you got the Cobra Kai kids throwing their weight around, and Kenny still terrorizing Anthony because apparently. Miguel and Sam are both there, but there's awkwardness between them, obviously, because even though they both say, we're good. But the whole thing is Cobra Kai throwing their weight around, and Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang kind of teaming up to fight back. Like, they start divvying up the park in half, like who gets to ride which rides. And that's part of where it boils over. That girl Devin, she doesn't want to not be able to ride a ride just because Cobra Kai is there. And the whole thing is going to be settled on a ride called the Double Dragon. Tori and Hawk race down, and whoever comes out first wins. But Cobra Kai, they cannot help cheating. Kenny's the one who hands both of them their inner tubes, and Hawk's has a hole in it. So he winds up getting slowed down, and Tori wins. And afterwards, there's this confrontation between Hawk and Kenny. And Kenny thinks he's big enough to strike first, but it doesn't work out for him. He lands one good shot. When Robbie comes in to defend Kenny, Miguel comes in to defend Hawk, and then the lifeguard, throws everybody out, as well he should. And there's a confrontation in the parking lot between Robbie and Miguel, and Johnny shows up for that, and I'm gonna have to get to that right now, actually. So, Johnny realizes he needs an actual job, because, he's got a baby on the way. Shannon, of all people, comes by because Robbie's going with her to her parents' cabin on the lake for the summer. And she suggests the whole gig economy. Uber Eats, Uber, DoorDash, whatever it is, all that stuff. Dimitri, who has a summer job at Tech Town, helps Johnny with the phone that he can actually use for it. And most of his involvement in this episode is a montage of him being terrible at it. Big surprise, right? He's late. He gets orders wrong. He's eating people's food. He's taking the van, which apparently smells like beer, because, you should really be drinking and driving. At one point, he literally relieves himself in an empty beer can because he's been in the car all day. So it's basically nothing but a string of 1 stars. But he happens to make a delivery to the guy that owns the pawn shop where he keeps trying to sell all of his stuff. And that guy turns out to be the voice of wisdom. Tells him, most people don't like their jobs. They just do what they need to do because they need to take care of things with take care of their families. And he's the one who actually gets the message home to Johnny, oddly enough. So when Johnny calls Shannon, he says that he wants Robbie to stay with him for the summer. You would think Robbie would have an opinion on this, but we don't actually find that out. So, he goes to the water park, Robbie and Miguel are fighting, and he tells them, we're all on the same side, we're friends. And Miguel and Robbie agree. The one thing they agree on is that they are not friends, and they never will be. So, in a way, that's kind of too bad for Johnny, considering that's his son and his surrogate son. Let's see, water park, Johnny's stuff. Oh, I almost forgot. Right at the beginning, the part I hated. Carmen has a Top Gun inspired dream about Johnny being a good father to their family. You want to dream about Johnny being a good father? Fine. But Top Gun, really? I don't know if you guys realize. The entire plot of that movie is Maverick, Tom Cruise's character, constantly fucking up, but at the same time, everybody telling him what a great pilot he is. He wins exactly one engagement that he's in, training to be a fighter pilot, or training to be a pilot specializing in dogfights, and he gets Goose killed. But somehow he's great and he winds up being a Top Gun instructor. Not a great role model. But, I mean, you pulled some shots from the movie. You got the beach volleyball and Johnny riding around on a motorcycle, which is definitely something he's going to have after he has another baby. Some interesting dreams you have there, Carmen. And then the Daniel and Silver battle continues. That's the psychological part. Daniel and Amanda go to a charity auction because Amanda really wants to be part of this charity. Unfortunately, the auction is being held at Silver's house because he may very well have bought himself onto the board. He then outbids everybody for a set of bonsai trees that Daniel donated, telling him privately that he's probably going to use them for mulch. He talks to the woman who runs the board about Daniel's wife, tells Daniel that he told her that she was a psychopathic liar, basically gets him to attack him in front of everybody before, the woman tells Daniel that Silver had nothing but nice things to say about Amanda. So he's not just going after, the dojo. He's not just trying to expand throughout the valley and apparently the world. He's out to wreck Daniel's marriage. This is another bit where the whole soap opera thing that I was talking about comes in, because a lot of the times you see, the bad guy in a soap opera just keep winning and winning, and it's just like, when is it enough? Hopefully, it's enough by the end of this season. There's no telling whether Mike Barnes will be able to help, because apparently he is out of town while the insurance company investigates. Chosen, well, he stayed home for this one. He was watching 90 Day Fiancé when they came back. Because he figured you don't need Chosen at an auction, right? Well, you might need Chosen at an auction. This has caused such a rift between Daniel and Amanda that she's taking off for a while and taking the kids with her. Which, for all I know, is an excuse to just get them out of the show for a while. Who knows? The horrible thing about this is, Daniel had everything together before the show started. He runs a chain of auto dealerships, loving wife, beautiful family. And again, I've said this before, but wasn't this show supposed to be about Johnny's redemption? Is it just because that all seems to be done now? You got to turn around and trash Daniel so he has to make, the hero's journey back? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just rambling. I don't know. Anyway, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Like the video, share it around, subscribe if you're so inclined. Hit that bell icon below for notifications when I put another one up. And until next time, I have been Scott, and this has been Just Got Around to Watching, an offshoot of opinions no one cares about. Everyone has opinions. This one was mine.